My name is Onyango, and this is my mentor story. I am a writer, I am a poet, I am a mental health advocate, I am also a trauma healing facilitator. I run a podcast called Afro Masculinity Podcast, in which I interrogate the complexities of African masculinities. I am very passionate about young boys and African men, and having conversations with them regarding their health, their mental health, their emotional health, and their physical health. When I began writing and performing poetry, I was about 22, 23 years old, just dropping out of campus and having a very hard time at home because my parents were fighting all the time. And having dropped out of school, it felt very helpless because I didn't know how my life was going to turn out. And so the way biblically Moses was also asked, what do you have on your hands? I asked myself, what do I have on my hands? And I had words. And so starting to perform poetry in Nairobi was, for me, the thing that I did to get away from the difficult thoughts I had, going through depression and anxiety and the post-traumatic stress. And as well thinking that maybe this is the thing I will do with my life now that I was artistic, I was very good with words. But in the beginning it was not very easy because I wasn't working, so getting even things like fare to go to poetry events was difficult. My dad did not like the fact that I was getting out of home, going to poetry events, and it seemed like I was settling on using the arts as a way to a means of my life. But with time, because of my persistence, again, because I'm a very determined human being, and the fact that also the more people listened to my work, the more they enjoyed my poetry, the more they enjoyed how I performed, I got invitations to more gigs, and that meant a very busy life, even though in the beginning I wasn't particularly being paid for all these performances. So what my mother did was she would assist me with fare money to go to poetry events. And then at some point she also developed an extra key for me that was for the gate, which I would use because sometimes we lived far off in Athi River and most of these events were happening in town, Nairobi. It was very far. I would get home sometimes as late as midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and having to disturb people, ring the bell, wake people up. She developed an extra key for me just so that I would be getting back home and smoothly. She always ensured there was food for me waiting, just so that I don't sleep hungry if I got home late. And that for me was one of the biggest structural support I ever got. When I and a partner of mine called Chris Mukasa launched an organization that we've been running called Fatuma's Voice in 2013, the day we were launching, my mother carried everybody from home just to come for the launch, and this includes even the house help. Everybody, even my dad, showed up, and it meant a lot to me that my mother took me that seriously, and she was showing support in her own way, just to keep me going on. And for sure, I know today I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that very much needed support that I got from my mother. And that's one of the reasons I do what I do, because I have seen how love can give us the energy to go to the farthest points with our lives. Thank you very much.